During the meeting, the IEP team, including you, will discuss your child's academic and functional strengths and needs in great detail. Using information from the discussion, the team will create a written, Individualized Education Program, the IEP. The IEP will include goals for your child and the services and supports needed to help your child reach their goals, make progress in the general curriculum, participate in extracurricular and non-academic activities, and be educated and participate with children without disabilities to the maximum extent possible. Other important factors and timelines will also be addressed and included in the IEP. A set of model IEP forms for teams to use has been created by the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. Since each school district may develop its own IEP documents, don't be surprised if your child's IEP looks different than the model forms. Even so, your child's IEP must include all the required parts in the right order. Let's discuss the different parts of the IEP. The team will review your child's eligibility for special education services by considering all relevant information and assessments. There are 14 categories of eligibility. If your child is eligible for more than one of these categories, the team, including you, will decide which one is primary and then list others. Next is the student profile. Here the team talks about your child's strengths, results of assessments and evaluations, and reviews your child's progress on any current IEP goals. The profile also must include your concerns about your child's education and your vision for their future. The team will consider any upcoming transitions. For example, your child may be moving into kindergarten from preschool, transferring into a new school, or there may be changes in your family's circumstances. If a transition is expected at any time during the 12-month IEP period, you and the other team members will discuss any information that could be used to make the transition a smooth one. If your child is 14 or older, or will turn 14 during the 12 months of the IEP, the team will discuss transition to adulthood issues. This will include selecting a course of study for your child. Once your child turns 16, the team must add post-secondary goals and services to the IEP, including areas such as continued education, employment, and independent living as needed. Special factors that affect your child's education will be included on the IEP form, such as behavior that impedes learning, language or communication needs, and other factors. Once your child's academic and functional needs have been identified, the team will write measurable annual goals that will address those needs. Each goal will specifically describe the skills your child is expected to learn in a particular area over the course of 12 months. Before the team can write an appropriate annual goal, they must have current and specific information about your child's performance in that goal area, including how their disability affects learning. This is called a present level of academic achievement and functional performance, and is the foundation for writing a goal. Goals must be clearly written, understandable, and measurable. This means you should be able to visualize the skill or behavior your child will achieve and know when the goal is accomplished. It's very important that you understand the purpose and the function of each goal. If something's not clear, ask to have it explained. For each goal written, the team decides if there are any assistive technology devices or services needed for the child to accomplish the goal. An assistive technology device might be a simple pencil grip, or maybe a computer with a touchscreen. An assistive technology service could include teaching your child or their teacher how to use that device. The team will also identify any related services, such as physical or speech therapy, needed to support your child in reaching their goal. Not all students will need assistive technology or related services. Next, the team will also consider any supports and services, accommodations or modifications your child needs to be successful in general or special education classes, and in other activities such as lunch, recess, field trips, and other school functions. The IEP will be specific about when and where services will be provided. Federal and state laws require that, to the maximum extent possible, students with disabilities must be educated with their non-disabled peers. This is known as the least restrictive environment. The IEP must include a clear explanation for any part of the day that your child will not be participating with non-disabled students, including time in resource or other separate classrooms. Here are some other questions the team will answer. How will your child's progress be measured? How will your child's progress toward achieving their IEP goals be reported to you? Will your child need special education services beyond the typical school year? And finally, the last step is to document the names and roles of the IEP team members who were present and participated in developing the IEP. Once the plan is completed, it must be followed as written for 12 months. If changes are needed to the IEP, they can be made by the IEP team. As you can see, the IEP process is complicated, and there's a lot to think about. But when followed as Congress intended and the law is written, the process will lead to an appropriate educational program for your child. Now that you know what's included in the IEP, it's time to move on to Chapter 4, Getting Ready for Your Child's IEP Meeting.